All right, another sloppy loss by the Padres today, 7-1. So now going from 7-0 to 7-2, and we'll see if the Padres can avoid being swept tomorrow in the series finale before they head to Sacramento. I'll have a show after tomorrow's game, but yeah, just not fun. A long game to watch. I mean, for some fans, I assume, and for me as well, to be quite honest, it got a little boring at times because of how many freaking walks there were. It just, I mean, I talked about this yesterday. It just annoys me watching guys, especially when you're in the big leagues and you can't throw strikes. I get it. It's like in the 40s there. Maybe I don't get it because I'm not pitching in the 40s and I'm sitting here in San Diego, but it's still frustrating as a fan. You're watching guys that are getting paid millions of dollars and they can't find the strike zone. Um, and that's what happened again today. The Padres got bit by it, and they're just like they deserve to be bit by it. When you can't throw enough strikes, you deserve to lose the game. That's just what it is. And it started in the second inning where, sure, there's the single to Dansby, but then you walk Pete Crow Armstrong. That gets first and second, and then there's an RBI single that scores the first run. And if that walk didn't happen, then Dansby's not on second base to score in that situation. And after that, there was a walk there for Ian Happ, and then you walk Kyle Tucker. And now it's 2-0. So just free pass after free pass after free pass. And Nick Pivetta, this was, I think other fan bases in the past, that have had Nick Pivetta as one of their pitchers, they have expressed like, yeah, it's probably going to be a wild ride. And boy, was it today. These first couple of starts, maybe some fans, Phillies fans or Red Sox fans, whoever, would say, yeah, this is what we experienced with Nick Pivetta. First game, obviously, he goes 82 pitches, 7 innings, no earned runs, 1 hit, doesn't walk anyone. And today, in 6 less pitches, he goes 4 fewer innings. He gives up 5 more hits, 3 more earned runs, and 3 more walks. Yeah, just that wasn't the Nick Pivetta that we signed up for, obviously. And I know that he's pissed. Like, I'm not going to say that these guys don't care because they do, obviously. But yeah, it's just frustrating again because we saw Randy Vasquez go through this yesterday, and then we see Nick Pivetta go through this again today. And then even with the bullpen, there were guys that couldn't throw strikes as much as we wanted them to. And is this a situation where it feels like guys are still, even when they're not throwing strikes and you got fastballs that are soaring above the zone, guys are still trying to give it their all on the velocity? And it's like, maybe tone it back a little bit. Give your defense a shot to bail you out. Even if it's a ball that's hit hard, maybe it's hit at someone. But when you're not even throwing a strike and it's 5 feet above the strike zone, well, you're not giving anyone a shot. So yeah, just frustrating watching that. The Padres were even lucky to have this game be 7-1, if we're being honest, because the Cubs left the bases loaded, 4 times, I think, in the first 5 innings? I think that's what I tweeted. Let me see. Where was it here? Yeah. 4 times the Cubs left the bases loaded, and this was through 5 innings. Nick Pivetta got through it a few times. Omar Cruz got through it in the 5th inning. And by the way, don't know how much longer he's going to be on the roster, not because of his pitching, but maybe they end up going with Logan Gillespie or someone like that who hasn't thrown since Wednesday because Cruz threw over 60 pitches today. So when is he next going to be available? But, whether it's the walks from Pivetta today or you leave a ball right down the middle of the plate to Dansby Swanson, that's going to be a home run to the guy that's the caliber of Dansby. And then right after that, you've got the throwing error by Crony. I know he's on the run, but he's got to make that play. He would say that. And then after that, you got a ball. Was it a bunt or a dribbler? I forget. But Pivetta goes, throws it to first, and Arise doesn't have his foot on the bag. You had the single that Crony grabbed. Arise thought it was going into right field, so he's running to be the cutoff man. Pivetta doesn't run to first base. He just kind of sits there for a couple seconds, and that costs him there. It was just baseball that you don't even want to show little leaguers, or you show them this is not how you play baseball, And it's frustrating because this isn't the White Sox. We're not the Marlins. We're not bad defensive teams. We have some really good defensive players on this team, and we're a team that has Mike Schill as the manager, should be better than that, should play better fundamental baseball than that. They were playing better baseball or good baseball through those 7 games. Were they lucky sometimes? Yeah, and these past couple of games, it's kinda crazy how, right, like, when you play good baseball, there's also plays where you get lucky as well, and it all's like it's all that one game or that stretch of time where you're playing well. But then when you're not playing fundamentally good baseball, you're walking guys, you're making errors, then you don't get the luck as well. The other team gets the luck, where you have a ball hit by Gavin Sheets down the left field line. Ian Happ makes an amazing play. Merrill barrels one right up the middle, and it hits the pitcher, goes off him. Instead of going into their dugout, I think it went to Nico Horner at second, and Merrill's out. Just little things like that. Or Tatis squares up a ball, and it's a double play because it's a liner to first, and the guy steps on first to get, I think, a rise. No, whoever it was. Maybe it was Diaz at first base. When things are going bad, things are definitely going bad. When things are going good, things are going really good. And that's how it's been through the first 9 games. It was really good for the Pods in the first 7, and then these first 2 here against the Cubs, not so much. What other inning to highlight here? Obviously, there was the 4th inning. That wasn't really like a bunch of walks. There was the double by Michael Busch, then Dansby walked. So now it's first and second, and then Horner singles. Busch scores. Dansby ends up not scoring. So it wasn't that big of a deal. That 6th inning, I think that was the inning Xander had a ball down the middle and he grounds into a double play. Yeah, I'm seeing on social media a lot of people, they want Yuli Gurriel off the team, and this was even before today. And then I went into it like, okay, we're 7-1, guys. This is what you want to focus on. Then you watch the at-bats today, and yeah, Gurriel doesn't look great. So wouldn't be surprised if we see Iglesias, if we see Gavin Sheets, and we don't see Gurriel. But is this too short of a leash to give Gurriel? I mean, wasn't it a minor league deal? The guy's like 40. So is it really is it too short of a leash when you have Tirso Ellis, you have Oscar Gonzalez, who's hitting well in AAA? You have other guys you have Gavin Sheets, who's hitting over 400 to start the year. I don't know how short of a leash. I don't know if it's too long of a leash to. Now, I think the Padres would tell you, yeah, like the small sample size and how many at bats Gurriel's gotten, but hitting homers in live BP sessions, sure, high 90s in the velocity, but turning around fastballs in live BP is different than hitting in game at the big league level in regular season games. There was the homer that was by Carson Kelly that was like the perfect batting practice. The home run derby where guys want it kind of middle in and not just middle. That was Alec Jacob. That was a pretty perfect home run derby type pitch. And who cares what the wind's like? That's going to go. That made it 7-0. Game was obviously over. Game was over before then, is what it really felt like. As much as this team has fight and maybe they'll come back, with how many mistakes were made, and sure, they were able to get out, right? Like bases loaded, four bases loaded jams or whatever. But there were still runs allowed there, and they just were making errors, walking guys, leaving balls over the middle of the plate. A lot of balls left over the middle, and just it was a game they didn't deserve to win. I mean, that's really all I have on this game. Just sloppy, hard to watch, really hard to watch when you're walking that many. 8 walks, excuse me. 8 walks. The Padres had 11 hits. The Cubs had 8 hits. Padres had more hits than the Cubs. No, excuse me. Sorry. That's the other way around. My bad. The Padres gave up 11 hits. The Cubs gave up 8 hits. But not a huge difference in the hits. That's my point. But the Padres only walked once. The Cubs walked 8 times. Or I should say the Padres walked the Cubs batters 8 times. That's 7 extra base runners. And you're not going to capitalize on any of those. Of course, they're going to capitalize on some of them. And that's what happened. So, obviously the Padres, they've got to flush it and then come back and play better baseball and find a way to Throw more strikes. I know that's, deep analysis there. Throw more strikes, but and again, it's easy for me to say sitting here in San Diego, but I'm a frustrated Padres fan after these last couple of games because they need to find the strike zone more. I don't care if you're throwing 97 and it's 5 inches, 5 feet over the plate, and it's not even close to the zone. I'd rather have you throw 93 and it be close to the zone. Our batter's going to hit it. Yeah, sure. But at least you can maybe give your defense a shot instead of giving them a bunch of free passes and extending innings.